Give it to Eddie Cavani. Pass him the ball, he will score all the goals. Give it to Eddie Cavani. Pass him the ball, he will score all the goals. So guys, basically, before I get into the meat of the matter, welcome back to 876 United Fox TV people. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for sharing and subscribing to the channel. And let's get into the nitty gritty. So today guys, we're just going to focus on our latest news at Manchester United. If you check all the most prestigious and the renowned sporting football / soccer outlets, you can check BT Sports, Sky Sports. You can even check the official website of Manchester United, guys. And of course, the transfer guru himself, Fabrizio Romano. They have all stated that Edison El Matador Cavani has signed a 1-year extension to his current contract at Manchester United, people. Well done. Well done, Ole. Well done. So basically, I'm very happy for this because it clearly shows that we're not prioritizing a Erling Haaland type signing or even a Hurricane signing this season, because Cavani is a gem of a striker, people. He is something that we haven't seen in that number 9 position in years. Ever since we lost Van Persie. Robin Van Persie, you remember that striker, Flying Dutchman in the World Cup of 2010? Was it 2010 or 2014? Yes, 2014. Yes. So remember that striker, guys? That Dutch striker. Exquisite. Since 2015 when he left, or I believe 2014, whichever of the 2 years. Yes, since he left, we have lacked that striker that has that special something. That has the guy that has the ability to run in and behind defenders, has the ability to pose fear in defenders. Yes, we had Zlatan for about a season or 2 or a season and a half, but after that, we didn't really have an outright striker. I mean, we had Romelu Lukaku, but he wasn't, much of a threat for us in his stint at Manchester United. Nonetheless, then we moved on, we moved on to the likes of, Anthony Martial. He had a good first season post Lukaku, but this season, he is showing us again his inconsistency. Remember the first season he came, our top scorer. The season after, he wasn't, Zlatan came in the team, whatever, rest is history. Now, this season again, poor performances. I mean, I respect him as a player. He's very talented and he's one of the best in the team on his day. But consistency is his issue for me. He's not consistent. So, I was kind of set aback when we got Cavani last minute because I saw it as a panic signing, And even the fact that we gave him number 7 for me was kind of, weird, strange for me, and his recent injury record, at PSG and when he became a free agent was very concerning for me. So, when Cavani came, I was disappointed, but he's proven us wrong and he has broken that number 7 curse. So, remember, we had the likes of Michael Owen, even Valencia. Don't forget, Di Maria and Alexis Sanchez, who were not good number 7s for us. But Cavani broke this curse, and Cavani is doing tremendously well. Now guys, let's get into some other transfer, well, not news, but I'm going to touch a little bit on the rumors and, possible transfers that we can take part in for this upcoming transfer market. So as you guys know, we've been linked to Jadon Sancho, and also, we have been linked for the past couple seasons, even up to this season, with the likes of Rafael Varane. Now, let's talk about Varane first, then I'll get into Sancho. Now, Varane, up until now, hasn't been in extended talks with Real Madrid. We've heard over the past weeks that he has not yet reached an agreement with Real Madrid regarding a possible contract and so forth, guys. Excuse me, sorry. So he hasn't yet agreed any contract with Real Madrid, and it's kind of playing in our favor because Real Madrid, they are complaining about the lack of funds, due to the COVID-19. That's why I'm saying, look, I don't think they should be doing the Super League thing because they're going to be in debt if they don't pull out of it, because they needed the Premier League teams to go through with this Super League business. So they did it in quote unquote to raise money for the club, but see what I'm saying? They don't have money to maintain their high profile players. So it's playing in our favor, guys. It's so far, Varane has not signed he has 1 more year left on the contract, but it therefore means that clubs such as Manchester United, who would want to buy those defenders or who are linked to buy those defenders, they have a good chance because now he's at an affordable price for us to purchase, And another thing in our favor as well, he was in our academy system. Yes, Varane played for us at the academy level, so therefore he'll have some, soft spot for Manchester United because it's where it all started for him. So let's see what can happen, if Varane can come to the club, and make a positive impact. Varane is the perfect partner to complement Harry Maguire. I don't think that Victor Lindelof is the best centre-back at the club. I believe, yes, Maguire, to some extent, is not the best of defenders in the world and so forth, but he has the attributes to become a world-class defender, and in helping him to become this world-class defender, he needs a partner that can complement his attributes. So the attributes that is needed to complement Maguire is pace, because Maguire has no pace. Physicality, Maguire has some level of physicality when it's needed, but he doesn't always show that physical presence, as well as experience. And Varane ticks all those things off the box. He's experienced. He's a 3-time, probably 4-time Champions League winner with Real Madrid, as well as, he's a World Cup winner, and he's fast, he's pretty quick, his recovery pace is quick, he is physical as well. So, perfect partner for Maguire. And I think, due to the fact that Cavani has renewed his contract, we don't need to prioritize a centre forward, because yes, we have Marshall, who, when he's back from injury, he can be that substitute striker, as well as even Greenwood, who, if he decides to play as a centre forward, he can be the perfect backup for Cavani until Cavani leaves. So, for me, I'm glad that we have prioritized to extend Cavani's contract and that we're not planning to splash 150 million euros just to get a Erling Haaland in the club, or even 120 million pounds to get a Harry Kane. So we have Cavani, so we don't need those strikers, right? Also, guys, let's talk about the possible other positions and other players that we may need. So I also think that we need to also prioritize a central defensive midfielder. And in doing so, guys, we can consider 3 candidates. Any one of the 3 will be a good option for me, and probably for you guys as well. We can consider the likes of Declan Rice. I think he's overpriced, as a result of him being an English player. But he's a good class player, but I don't think he's worth between 80 to 60. I think he's worth like 60 million, but not 80 million. Sorry, guys. So yes, I think he's worth 60, but he's on a selling price of 80 million. As well as, we can even try and get the signature of Ndidi as well from Leicester City. But here the thing with Leicester now, I think that Leicester will hike up the price of Ndidi due to the fact of him being a crucial player for Leicester's squad, and that he plays a crucial part in how Leicester receives success. He was like the new Kante for them, a taller version, so to speak, for Leicester. So I think he's also a player that we should also consider, and possibly he'll be at a cheaper price because he's not an English-born player. You know, the English player seems to have an inflated price. For some reason I cannot really understand and explain. But that's the scenario. But NDD can be a possible player to get as well. He has the physicality, he has the passing ability, and he has every attribute that should be as a CDM for United, and that can complement the likes of a Pogba or even a Donny van de Beek if Ole decides to use them, if we get a CDM of that caliber. And the third option in CDM that I think we should also consider is Ruben Neves. Yes, that young man who is Portuguese and he plays for Wolves. I think he should be the third option. If the other two that I've just mentioned, the deal doesn't materialize or it's difficult to get them, they are so high of a price that we have to divulge the majority of our transfer budget in those players, we can buy Ruben Neves. He's about 25, probably 26 this season. You know, he's Premier League proven. You know, he's a class player. He plays for Portugal. You know, he hasn't really won significant trophies as well. But I think he's of that quality that is beyond McTominay and Fred. He's a good passer. He's good at recovering possession. You know, he's fit. He runs up and down the pitch. So I think as a last resort option, he's the best suited option for us. So those are the three CDMs that Manchester United should be eyeing or keeping their focus on if they should buy a CDM. I think we need one because for us to go to the next level next season, we can't continue with Magaloff, that is Maguire and Lindelof, or McFred, which is McTominay and Fred. So we need to get the pieces that will help us in those positions. So we need a centre-back. I would prefer Varane or Koundé, or even Koulibaly, but I think Koulibaly is going for too much money, £100 million. That's why I didn't really speak about Koulibaly, but if we can get him, fine. So I think we need the likes of a Varane, Koundé or Koulibaly as our new colossal centre-back, as well as either Declan Rice, Ndidi, and Ruben Neves as our possible new CDM. So we can unlock Pogba and unlock Donny van de Beek. As well as, let's talk about now Jadon Sancho. Now, for me, if Manchester United wants to prioritize a winger, I have two possible options. You know, we have the likes of Diallo that is at the club already, but I don't think, you know, he's ready yet. I think give him one more season, you probably loan him out to give him some experience at another Premier League team so he can actually get a Premier League experience and bring him back. I think Diallo should be one option to consider. Give him next season to show his quality. If not, if Ole doesn't want to take that risk, I have two possible options that we can consider. We can consider Jadon Sancho, who we have been linked with since last season. Or my fellow countryman, Mr. Leon Bailey. Yes, I know everybody's going to say I'm being biased now to a Jamaican, but that's not the case. Let's talk about Sancho first, then we get into Leon Bailey. So, you know, we have been linked with Sancho for the past couple seasons now from last season, and there has been also talks from January of, 2019. Yes, January of 2019. We have also been linked with Sancho as well. You know, that is when Sancho just came on the scene and he became this renowned player in the Bundesliga. So yes, you know, if you have heard from the German football outlet that the sporting director of Borussia Dortmund has had an agreement with Sancho that you're free to leave at the end of this season, if whoever comes in to get a signature meets certain deadlines. So meaning if we want you to be gone, if you're supposed to leave by, the first week of the transfer window. Therefore, Dortmund can get a possible replacement. That's one requirement by whichever team is going to buy him. Two, they have to meet the required price tag of Dortmund. Yes, they have to meet that required target. And they have to ensure that every single other agreement thereafter has to be met by whichever club. So, Sancho has been rumored to say that he wants to come back to the Premier League, and his possible destination may be in Manchester, and that is Manchester United. So let's see what can happen. Let's see if a deal will materialize, because it has been said Manchester United actually sent in some money for Sancho last season, and it was rejected by Dortmund because we decided to wait till the last minute. We decided to play cat and mouse with Borussia Dortmund, and this club is not about that foolishness. So, if we want to get the Sancho deal done, get it done as early as possible. But for me, let us get a competent centre-back before considering Sancho or a CDM. Now guys, let's go on to Mr. Leon Bailey. I think that he can do a good job in the Premier League. Probably he can do better than Sancho, or just as well as Sancho if he comes to the Premier League. Because this season, Mr. Leon Bailey has proven why he should be a professional footballer in Europe. He's been in class this season. He has been a part of most of what's the club name? Bayer Leverkusen. Sorry, my apologies. He has been a part of most of Bayer Leverkusen's goals this season. He has scored a lot of goals himself as well. So for me, he's class, and I think he should be a possible replacement if we can sign Mr. Sancho. So, if Manchester United listening, you can probably get Mr. Leon Bailey. So there you have it, guys. That's pretty much what I wanted to discuss today. I didn't really have anything else to say per se. So guys, remember now, I will be live tomorrow for our pre-game show, and I will do a reaction video tomorrow to our result against Leicester City, for a game against Leicester City tomorrow. So stay tuned for that, as well as stay tuned for our Liverpool game as well. And I'll be back again for that Europa League finals, where Mr. El Matador, I predict he will be on the score sheet for that finals. So guys, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Yes, see it there at the top? Which side? See it there at the top? Yeah. See it here? Subscribe to 876 United Fox TV, people. I love you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. And I see a lot of people watching the videos again, and you're not subscribing. People, please, no man, subscribe. No? Don't let me have to beg you. Alright? And we're out. I love you guys.